So I am Miss Spangler. This is my third year teaching here at Villa Angeles St. Joe's. Mostly over the last couple of years, I have taught seniors and juniors. This year I am teaching the CP juniors as well as the honors seniors, and I have had a speech and debate class and creative writing. I also work, it was so fun. I also work with Ventures, which is our school literary magazine, and I am the junior class moderator. I decided in high school that I was going to be a teacher, and my senior year I was kind of debating on whether I would be a music teacher or an English teacher, because those are two subject areas that I'm pretty passionate about. I really love the arts. I decided I was going to become a teacher during my senior year, when I was able to talk with a lot of my teachers and talk about their experience as teachers and kind of get to know what they enjoyed and what they liked about their experience. After talking with a lot of them and seeing how fulfilled they were in their career, I knew that it was a career for me. Good question. Yeah, so I am in my own lessons or in my classroom, I try to make things, I try to make it so that we're doing activities in short amounts of time. In other words, in our 44-ish minute classes, I try to have 2 or 3 activities so that way we're not doing the same thing the whole time. I think it's also great just to relate various themes and topics that come up in older literature to things that come up today. For example, The Great Gatsby talks a lot, it takes place in the 20s. However, the themes that were relevant 100 years ago are still relevant today, themes about money and love. So kind of relating that to how people's everyday lives work today. My senior year religion teacher, in my senior year religion class, that was the first time I ever took a Myers-Briggs personality test. And I remember that year in religion, he talked to us a lot about getting to know ourselves, and that being a key to developing relationships with others. And I think senior year was when I really decided that I wanted to know and learn to love myself and develop a relationship with myself, so that way I could better my relationships with others in my own personal life, my friends and my family, as well as my students. Every day I come into this school and I am uplifted by the optimism of my students. I absolutely love the optimism and hope and courage that my students have for the future, and I find it to be so inspiring, and I couldn't imagine working with all adults because it is so uplifting to be with young people. A great day at VASJ is when we run through the lessons and someone says, "Hey, that's kind of cool." All it takes is one person to be like, "I like this," or "I get this." Feeling like something that I taught a student matters is a day maker every time. The diversity is my favorite part of VASJ. I am so lucky to be with a group of students who come from so many different walks of life. I find that really inspiring because my students are so accepting and loving to one another. And I find that really inspiring in my own life. It really makes me want to be a kinder and better person because I see that displayed in my students. I would say to all my current students to find something that you really love about yourself and always remember that in hard times. I remember in high school struggling with self-esteem, and I remember so many of my family members and friends telling me, "Oh, you're wonderful, you're beautiful, you're great." And those compliments didn't really register with me until later in life, and I didn't appreciate myself until maybe later in life, maybe in college, maybe even later. I'm still working on it. And I would love for every high school student, everyone I work with, to find one thing that they love about themselves and always remember that even when they're having a horrible day. Teacher Appreciation Week is always such a nice week. It's really special to hear from my students a simple thank you. Hearing that is really something that makes the week really great, especially at the end of the year. It's always really wonderful. For Teacher Appreciation Week, I always try to let my coworkers know how much I appreciate them as well. Teacher Appreciation Week is a time for us to say thank you to people that we work with every day and don't necessarily acknowledge on the daily.